Hello again, dinosaur fans. So today we got another Dino Roll by Kong Species Studio, I believe it is. There we go. And this is, I think, a limited edition. I don't know, I didn't take translate to that text. Maybe you want to try yourself, but it is Stomatosuchus inermis. I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. And there's some stuff. I find that most of these QR codes don't go anywhere. And it's for 8-year-olds and up. So reading some Wikipedia, this is kind of like a crocodile, and it was discovered in 1911, or collected in 1911, and this thing would have roamed around what is now called Egypt. So this is also from the Cretaceous period, so it would have been hanging out with the Spinosaurus and the Dinosaurus, which I can never pronounce correctly. You know what, let's go over these because maybe you've never seen one of these before. This wasteful credit card is just unnecessary when the box has the same image. This QR code goes nowhere. This is on the bottom of the figure. I can understand why this is here though. So, you know what? Maybe E is 5, 6. See, I guess it probably came out at the same time frame as this wave, but which is wave 3, by the way. So it's like a special wave 3 edition. Maybe that's why it's using green. But this is letter B, so there may have been a letter A as well. I don't know. Here's a postcard, more wasteful paper. I don't know why anyone would want that when they could just take a photo of the thing themselves. But all right. Be careful pulling these things out of the box because they very often have very delicate spikes or claws. I had one at my break, not this brand, but a different type of dinosaur. This one luckily doesn't have very thin stuff. I do believe this is rigid plastic. It's not the softer PVC that a lot of like art toys are made out of, so that's why you gotta be careful. So before I forget, what makes this thing unique, besides the fact that it's that big compared to a human being, is it has like a giant like baleen whale kind of lower jaw, they suspect, or like a pelican. So here's a good cartoon or rendering where, you know, it would basically have this giant mouth like a whale and scoop up anything that it would get inside it there. And it had conical teeth much like a crocodile, so it would try to keep, you know, things from getting out. Maybe, I don't know. So we don't know what really happened back then. Did it really bite things like crocodiles, or did it scoop them up like whales? Do not know. Let me get a different light angle here. And close out these windows while I'm at it. So this is actually a pretty short one. A pretty small dino roll, it seems. Roughly that is. The dimensions might be 10.5 centimeters, a little over 4 inches. And roughly in height, maybe 7 centimeters, a little under 3 inches. It is a solid chunk of resin here. On the bottom, it's cool, and these things, dino rolls are cool. They have these skeletons all cartoonized, right? It looks like it's in some sort of stone, which is neat. Little claws there, pretty cool. The only thing I wish they had is a label as to what the actual thing is called, because I'm never going to remember all these dinosaur names. And you got this like egg looking thing or a geode looking thing. It's got these yellow kidney bean shapes and then some black and white paint on top of this like mottled green texture. I think this might be a separate piece and is pegged in or something like that, because they got the bottom painted really nice, right? So I'm sure they glue them together. So this thing does have these nice little dark gray claws on all the feet here. The tail, you can see the scales here. They're not symmetric, you know, it's a very organic shape, so the scales have to continually get smaller as it goes towards the tip. Same with these spikes up here. And then on the legs, you can see it looks very much like a crocodile, right? Like crocodile leather here with these types of scales. And yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I'm accustomed to seeing when I see images of crocodiles or alligators. But yeah, you can see they really cartoonized this like pouch here for the mouth. So it looks like it's full of water or something like that, and hopefully fish. Okay, going up here, well, we got this foot raised, the other one's planted. And the color is kind of like a tan or a light, yeah, I would say light tan, but then they sprayed a very faint green on top of it. And then that green fades out to become more of a tan again, and then it becomes brown. So I think there's a lot of brown paint washes on this thing. So look at the scales up top, they're really neat. They definitely look like a crocodile or an alligator. The crevices are very deep. They're at least half a millimeter. And then looking at the head, it's totally different scales. These look like sesame seeds to me, but then they transition to these kind of like, I don't know, hexagons. And they transition again. So there's a lot of different shapes going on this thing, right? So that's part of the fun of collecting these, just the details that someone sculpted originally. And then you can see these teeth. They do actually look like, baleen teeth of a blue whale or something like that. So I don't know. I didn't look up images how fine the teeth were. So maybe it is like a filter feeder. Alright, well, this thing is supposed to have glass eyes. That's what I read on the internet, these Dino Rolls. So you can see the light, right? They do feel kind of cold to the touch. They feel like glass, but I can't say for sure. And then it's got this little black eye, and it's looking backwards for some reason. I don't know. I really wish you could just rotate the eyes, but I haven't been able to do so. I think they're glued in place. Okay, well, I guess that's it. So let's look at some other things. Alright, so here is I can never pronounce this thing. I'll let you try. Carcharodontosaurus. Carcharodontosaurus? One day I'll get it right. So supposedly those lived in the same era. I think they both could have been found on land. Obviously this one, and clearly that one probably wasn't hanging on the water, but you never know. But the Spinosaurus may have been, in the same vicinity, because to me it has very similar, somewhat aquatic features. This giant sail could have been for swimming, that long crocodilian tail to get through the water. Anyway, so this is by Animal Heavenly Body, and this is a rigid plastic also. This one showed up with a broken claw, so that's why I have to warn everyone every time I do these videos. These are rigid plastic, so be careful. They will break, and it's very difficult to fix. Alright, so I think, this is way out of scale compared to a Spinosaurus, which I think was the largest land predator known to man. Still, they're cartoons, so can't take it too seriously. So it's nice that I have some sort of cartoony crocodile now that actually existed at some point in time. And I'll try to collect some more of these Dino Rolls, so hang out until then, and we'll see you then. Thanks, bye.